Yeah, I mean, there's a variety of different reasons why organizations do their assessments. I think a lot tends to default to that compliance mode where we have to do it, so we assess kind of the bare minimums. But I think as programs evolve, you go from there and you're really looking for those blind spots, those areas where you don't even really know that exist out there. You're kind of just kicking over stones, looking for something. Unfortunately, it's when you find something, it's kind of a punch in the face, but you're looking for that in order to identify that risk and reduce it to help your organization. Then that's the key where it starts from. And once again, it's always an evolution. I know I've been doing a variety of different assessments for about 15 years now. And I think every time I do an assessment, I go a little bit deeper, learn a little bit more, and I take it to that next level. It's always evolving in order to find that next stone.
HIPAA, right, says that we'll do one. But other than the regulatory requirement, like John said, it's you start out flipping over rocks to find out what's underneath, and it is sometimes, I like the way you put that, John, a punch in the face. And each time that you do find more and more. We try to conduct our own internal throughout the year, and then we have the external come in to help support, ensure that we're seeing the appropriate things, that we're not surprised when the external comes in, and also validate. So we do use those risk assessments, to get a good baseline, and also report to senior leadership and the board of how we do year to year.
Yeah, for us, it started out as compliance, as probably it often does, which is actually how I got my job 8 years ago. We started to do some business with the government, and they said, fine, you need to get an assessment. And so that drove us into realizing that we needed a full-time security team doing a formalized program. And so the assessment process is what really started it. But as John had said, it's just the catalyst. Once you start doing it, you start realizing all the opportunities for growth and for strengthening your capabilities. And each iteration drives in more and more details. I actually enjoy going through them currently, because it does give you opportunities to look at things that are perhaps not as strong and not doing as much as you'd like them to do. You learn things and you keep on growing your maturity.
Yeah, definitely. Being the resident new guy starting in January, I think that definitely not only to, what everyone said from, ensuring regulatory compliance, and then really seeing where all the bodies are hidden. From my perspective, it really helped provide an insight and kind of pulse and health check on where we were at in an organization, especially as we were growing and kind of expanding our footprint into 9 separate organizations. So it really helped build that framework for where we were and weren't in compliance, kind of our problem areas, to see where there was some low-hanging fruits, but also to really build that basis for asking for funding, if it's for staffing, if it's for tools, if it's for those third-party assessments. So it really was a good baseline to really get the ball rolling for that.
Stephen, just like you said, right? I started the cybersecurity program at Dayton Children's when I started there nearly 2 years ago, and I got very lucky. And right as I came in, the results from that year's risk assessment were just getting released. So standing up a new cyber program, a new cyber risk management program, that was, one of the things I wanted to do anyway was to get an external risk assessment done on the environment. It just happened to work out because it allowed me to identify, like you said, where's my critical areas, where are we the weakest, and then start planning out the roadmap for what are we going to do, for the next 36 months to address these things. And I 100% agree with what you said.
I'll add on that. I think another thing that I always enjoyed when doing the assessments, kind of like I find them important as well, is it helped me understand the business, kind of what the critical departments are, the critical processes are, and where they're going. Because a lot of times I would find myself from that security side and the IT side more in my own little silo and department, and not getting out to see how things are actually functioning. So it helped me just to realize, it's bigger than just the IT or the security piece. There's actually stuff going on out in the hospital.
Yeah, so as a new security officer within an organization, it must be a great tool to help you understand your landscape and where you want to focus your time and energy.
Ultimately, it's about prioritization, right? So you're going to find issues, and hopefully you find those issues before the bad guys do, right? Hopefully you find your vulnerabilities, your weak spots, the soft parts in the fruit, as it were, before the bad guys do, and then prioritizing those, right?